Once upon a time, in a faraway African village, there lived a king who ruled wisely and kindly. His people loved him, and the land was peaceful. However, one day, a group of fierce warriors from a neighboring kingdom invaded the village. They captured the king and took him to a dark forest, tying him up in a cave. The villagers were frightened. They had no idea how to rescue their beloved king. In the same village lived a young boy named Kofi. Kofi was not a warrior, but he was a skilled drummer. His drum was small, made from a hollow tree trunk and animal skin, but when Kofi played, the sound echoed far and wide. He could make rhythms that lifted people's spirits, brought them joy, and sometimes even made animals dance. When Kofi heard that the king had been captured, he knew he had to help. But what could a boy with a drum do? He thought for a moment and decided to set off to the forest with his drum. And as he walked through the forest, he started to play his drum softly. Boom, boom, bada boom, the sound bounced through the trees. The animals, hearing the music, came out from their hiding places. First, the birds flew down, then the rabbits, then the monkeys. They all followed Kofi, enchanted by his rhythm. Soon, Kofi reached a cave where the king was held. The warriors guarding the cave heard the drum beat, but thought nothing of it. Just a child playing music, they said, laughing. Little did they know that Kofi had a clever plan. Kofi continued to drum, but now he played a different rhythm. It was a rhythm of confusion and trickery. The animals began to act in strange ways. The monkeys climbed the trees above the warriors and started throwing fruits and branches at them. The birds circled around the warriors, squawking loudly in their ears, and the rabbits darted around their feet, making it hard for them to stand. The warriors were so distracted by the chaos that they left their post to chase the animals away. As soon as the guards ran off, Kofi dashed into the cave where the king was tied up. "Your Majesty," Kofi whispered, "I am here to rescue you." The king looked at the young boy in surprise, but nodded gratefully. Kofi quickly untied the ropes and led the king out of the cave, but they were not safe yet. The warriors were returning, and they were angry. Kofi had one more trick. He beat his drum loudly and powerfully. Boom, boom, ba-da, boom. The rhythm filled the air, and suddenly all the animals came together in a mighty force. They stood between the king and the warriors, ready to protect him. Seeing the animals united and hearing the powerful drum, the warriors became frightened. "This boy must have magic," they cried, and they ran away, never to return. The king and Kofi safely returned to the village. The people cheered for the brave young drummer who had rescued their king without even using a sword. From that day on, Kofi was known as Kofi the Drummer of the Kingdom, and his story was told for generations. The king honored Kofi with a special place in his court and reminded everyone, true strength does not always come from fighting. Sometimes it comes from wisdom, skill, and the courage to do what is right. And so, the village lived in peace, with Kofi's drum always echoing through the land, reminding everyone that even the smallest person can make the biggest difference. Moral of the story: courage, wisdom, and creativity are powerful tools that can solve problems in ways that force and fighting cannot.